I wanted to get our cleaning company's new logo on our company cars, but I didn't want to pay over $1,000 to get it done. So I decided to do it myself, and this is how it went. And stick around to the end because I'm going to break down how much everything cost. The machine I used to cut the vinyl was the Cricut Explorer 2. To start the cutting, I used the Cricut software to lay out my company's logo on the cutting mat. Next, I lined up the vinyl with the mat and cut off all the extra. Then, I put the mat in the Cricut and clicked the Insert Release button to lock the mat into place. Once the Cricut was done cutting, I moved on to the weeding part. The weeding was pretty easy to do. I found that the secret to weeding is taking your time and cutting off pieces of the vinyl as you go along to make it easier for you to remove. So I ran into a problem when I was in the process of cutting that logo to put in the car at the measurement that I had. The problem was that I measured the space on the car door for the 23.5 inches. I assumed that the logo at 23.5 inches would look good on the car. It actually looked too small for the size of the car door. So I had to remake all of the logos that I had already cut to make the new one, which would be 23.5 inches, just the Bennett Home Services part. And then the house logo that I have, that would be added on. And I know this is probably a rookie mistake, but when you're creating something on the Cricut, make sure that your measurements are right, because you don't want to waste a bunch of vinyl and money and time creating something that then you find out that it's not going to be the right size for whatever you're going to be using it for. So keep that in mind. Luckily for us, all of the pieces that I had cut that weren't the right size, actually we're going to be using it on the hood of the car, and it's a good size for that. Fortunately for us, it's actually going to be useful and we're going to be using it on the car. All right guys, so I just printed out the second version of the logo, and this is what it looks like. This is the original one that I created. So from this point to this point, it's 23.5 inches. And then, but that includes this icon logo of ours. So I took that out. Now this is 23 inches, 23.5 inches in width as well. And then the little house icon logo, which would go on, it was just cut separately. So that means that when I put this on the car, I'll just put this on after I put this first part on. So with this machine, the Explorer, I can't print more than 24 inches because of, I guess, the machine. They just don't allow you to. If you get the more expensive machine, the Maker 3, that one allows you to. You just have to take the longer mat and then add a smaller mat to it. So we'll do what we'll have to do in order to make it work, but this bigger size is definitely gonna look better on the car. And I'm gonna finish making the rest of these prints. I have to make 2 for each because it's gonna go on each side of the car. So we're looking at, we have 4. So we're looking at 8 of these that I have to print out. I'm gonna look for a way to not waste as much vinyl, because this one, it looks like I cut off this big chunk of vinyl here from the bottom because it's just the white space. So I'm gonna try to find something to put on this so that I don't waste more vinyl. I am here in the parking lot, a random parking lot at a strip mall. I'm gonna be putting on the logos on the car that we printed out with the Cricut, or we cut out with the Cricut. I already put the top part right here, the logo, as I showed you guys in that clip. We're going to apply on the bottom part is the services that we offer, and then on the right side here, we're gonna have the phone number for the company, and then the website under it telling people to book us online. So we're gonna be adding that right there to the bottom, and I'll show you guys how I do that. First thing I'm going to do, which I already did on this side, is spray it with some multi-surface cleaner, and then I wiped it down. And now I'm going to take the painter's tape, mark up where I'm going to put the services for the company on the car here. So let's get that started right now. These are the services that we offer. So I'm gonna peel this, take off the back, leave just the transfer tape, and then we'll put it on the car. All right, so we took out the back side. Now we have just the transfer tape. We're gonna put this right under that logo right there. Hopefully all of these come out and don't give us any issues, but we'll see. Alright, so this is what it looks like right now. I'll show you guys from far away. And if you're wondering about the hubcaps, we're getting those replaced, so I've ordered some new ones and we're gonna put them on the car so it'd look a lot better. It looks kind of like a broken down car right now, but once it has the hubcaps on, it's gonna look really nice. But I think it came out good. I think it came out pretty good. It started raining, so I might have to go find a garage that has a covering where I can do this inside of there. So we're gonna look for one right now. I'm putting on the next part of the stickers here on the car. I went into a garage that has a covering, but hopefully I don't get kicked out. I'm not supposed to be here right now, but now let's talk about pricing. How much all of these things cost. And was it worth it for me to do it this way, or should I have just paid someone to do it on my car? So the Cricut machine was the most expensive part of this whole project, obviously, because it is the actual machine that's gonna be cutting. So that was about $180, and I bought it on discount because I think it's usually $200, but they had a discount or a promotional thing going on, and I bought it for $180. The vinyl, they come in like little rolls of like 4, 5 feet. I bought them at Walmart and the Joanne Crafts store. That was about $8. The tools, the weeding tool, the squeegee tool that are also from the same brand, Circuit, I paid about $15 for all those tools together. The cutting mat that's 24 inches, the longer one, does not come in the box. You have to buy that separately. And I spent about $20 on the 24-inch mat, okay? And it came with 2 of them, so I don't know if they sell them in singles, but the one that I bought came in 2, so it was about $20 for 2 of them. And then the transfer paper, and I bought the bigger roll, so the transfer paper that I bought was about $20 because it came with a lot of transfer paper, but they have the smaller versions that you can buy for about $8, $10 as well. Now we're going to include my time that I spent on labor, which is basically all the time that I spent actually doing the cutting and putting it on the cars, all that stuff. So I spent about 4 days working on this entire project, and I spent about 6 hours on average per day that I worked on this. So if we're looking at 4 days times 6 hours, average hours of work that I spent working on these Now, if I were to have a company do it for us, they'd probably charge about $350 per car. So you're probably looking at maybe over $1,000. And I spent 24 hours of work doing this myself. With literally one entire day of that was just a mistake because, again, I didn't measure the logo on the car, so it didn't look good, and then I had to redo everything, and so that was an entire day just misused. So if we counted about 3 days that actually contributed to the working logo that we put on the car, I'd say it's worth it, right? And I'm coming from a perspective of someone that has 3 company cars. So if you have 1 car in your business or even 2 cars in your business and you wanted to do this is like definitely the way to go, because it saves you so much money that you could use back into your business. And aside from that, the machine is really, really cool. So you can do so much on it. I cut this out for the sweater on the machine. So like, I just ironed it on. I just bought an iron, a roll of iron paper, and then I just cut it on the Cricut. I put it on here, ironed it on, and it looks good. I mean, I've been using this sweater all the time now because of it. So it looks great. And yeah, so there's so much you can do with this machine. You can put things on hats, you can put things on, you can cut more vinyl, put it on your phone. This is my company phone. I cut one out for this phone. You can have fun with it. You can do so much with it. So I think the machine itself is an investment if you're planning on doing more branding stuff for your business. And yeah, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And I always forget to say this, but don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like, and thanks.